What's up, y'all? So the first step when cooking rice is you got to determine how much you want to cook. So every night that I eat rice, I will fix 2 dried cups of rice. So I got my 1 cup thing here. And what you want to do when you're cooking white rice is you want to get a nice fine mesh filter like this where the rice won't fall through. So just measure out however much rice you plan on cooking. On my instinct, it's always 2 cups. Always fills me up. Sometimes I have a little extra. And what you want to do is take that rice and you want to rinse it until all the water that runs off of it is clear. Kind of like when you're peeing. You don't want it to be cloudy. You don't want it to be yellow. You want it to be clear. So I just kind of work it with my hands. Keep working it until the water isn't cloudy anymore. And that pretty much means that not only does it get some of the starches out, but it also removes some of the salt. And I've just found out that it makes it taste a lot better and it digests a lot better. In addition, after rinsing it, if you got the time, if you want to, you can let it soak for a couple hours, or prepare it in the morning, let it soak until you fix it at night. I've noticed that helps with digestion and overall taste too. So now that the water is running off pretty clear, it's about time to start cooking it. Just shake it off. Alright, so now that we got our rice rinsed, you're going to want to choose a pot that'll let the rice expand without, overfilling the pot. So this is, let's see, we got a 2-quart pot here. And the biggest secret that I can teach people about cooking rice, I've cooked rice for the last 2 years, almost at least 3 times a week on the stovetop until I bought a rice cooker. But the one thing I've noticed is that cooking rice is way easier with a see-through glass lid. So the biggest secret is make sure you have a lid where you can see the rice cooking. And that'll let you know when you got the best cooked rice. You won't have to take off the lid and let all the steam out. You'll be able to see straight through to the rice. And that's one tip that most people don't ever tell. But make sure you have a clear glass lid or some kind of lid that you can see through when you're cooking your rice. So what you're going to want to do is go ahead and take your rice, put it in the pan, put it in the pot, and when you're cooking white rice on the stovetop, however many cups of dried rice you're cooking, you want to double the water. So since I got 2 cups of dried white rice here, I'm going to go ahead and add in 4 cups of water. Alright, now we're ready to get onto the stove top. Alright, so once you got your rice and your water, you want to go ahead and place the pot onto the stove and turn the heat on to high. And you're going to leave it on high until you start to get a boil. And then I'll show you what we're going to do next. We're going to stir it, place the lid on, reduce the heat, and let it cook. Stay tuned. While the water's heating up and starting to boil, you may want to stir it once or twice until it gets to a full boil, just to make sure that the rice isn't sticking to the bottom of the pan. So now that the rice is at a roiling boil, as you can see it's about to overflow, you want to turn the heat down to low to medium low. And you may have a little overflow as I did, but nothing wrong with that. So just turn the heat down to low / medium low. You want it to be on a lower setting. Go ahead and give it one final stir. And then place your clear glass lid onto the pot. And if you want to set a timer, go ahead and set it for 15 minutes, which is about the normal time that it takes to cook 2 cups of dried rice. So if you gotta set a timer, set it for 15 minutes. Check it at the 15-minute mark. It may need a couple more minutes after that. But all you're gonna do now is play the waiting game. No need to stir it while it's cooking during the 15 minutes. You may have a little overspill as it boils up. Not to worry, you'll be making some good ass rice here. Alright, so it's been 13 minutes since I reduced the heat and placed the cover on the rice. And the reason why you want to use a clear lid is the way you can tell if it's done is you can tilt it, and if you don't see any more liquid on the side here, that means that your rice is done cooking and it's ready to rest and then be fluffed. So the rice expanded, it's almost at the top here. But what I'm going to do is take it off the heat, turn off the heat, then take it off the heat. I'm going to let it sit for about 5 or 10 minutes, depending on how hungry you are. You know, you can let it sit for 10 minutes. If you're real hungry, you know, let it sit for 5 minutes. Whatever suits you. Alright, so now that the rice is done cooking, been resting for, I let it rest for about 10 minutes because I wasn't so hungry yet. We got a full pot of rice here. You just kind of want to fluff it up. That way it's not all sticky. I feel like any rice you cook is always going to be somewhat sticky. Fluff it up. Make a mess like I am if you want. It is what it is. Taste test time! Taste test time! Now be careful, y'all. Still gonna be a little bit hot. I'll let this spoonful dry, cool off a little bit. That is some good rice, y'all. Good texture. It's not too dry. You know, it's not too wet. Perfect. Pour some salsa or some guacamole or any other kind of condiment. That's low fat, low sodium over this rice. Pair it with a little bit of salad greens. You got yourself a good high carb vegan dinner. It's easy as that, y'all. If you got any questions about how to cook stovetop white rice, leave them down below. This is something I love doing. You know, I've been doing it for so long that I feel like I just got to share the information that I've learned over the years. You know, different cooking techniques and all this. Now I actually own a rice cooker and cook all my rice in a rice cooker, which takes a little longer, but I think it tastes a little bit better. And also the rice cooker has a timer. So if you want to put the rice in the rice cooker in the morning and have it ready for when you get home from work or when you get done with the workout, you can set the timer and you're good to go. So y'all have a good one. I hope this helps. Peace, y'all. Peace.